What grammatical tense to use when doing reference in a paper? For example, I published a paper with title B in 2000. Then, in my paper, A said that, C worked out perfectly. And B illustrated that, C worked out perfectly. As the content between is derived from the original paper, the tense may vary. The pair of the simple present tense, in the source, and the simple past tense, in my current paper, is used as an example.
The 5th edition of the Publication Manual of the American Psychological Association, APA, has this to say on page 33. For literature review and description of procedure, if of past events, use the past tense, Zhang showed, or present perfect, Zhang has shown. For describing results, use the past tense, for example, weight increased marginally. For discussing results and presenting conclusions, use the present tense, for example, the results of this study suggest. According to the APA, using the present tense for 3 includes the readers in deliberating the matter at hand, Publication Manual, APA, p. 33. In other words, readers feel as if they are part of the final process of arriving at the all-important conclusion. More on tenses can be found on pages 41 to 44. Areas discussed include preferring the active voice over the passive, for example, Zhang designed the experiment, not the experiment was designed by Zhang. Note, however, that the passive is acceptable. In some situations, the APA gives expository writing as an example and in instances where you intend to emphasize the object or recipient of the action, APA, p. 42. You might also want to use the passive to soften the impact of sentence after sentence written in the active voice, using the past tense for specific, definite. APA, p. 42, situations in the past. For example, Zhang, 2010, presented similar findings. Using the present perfect tense for expressing the same situations in the point above that are neither specific nor definite, APA p. 43. No example of this from me, or for describing an action beginning in the past and continuing to the present, APA, p. 43. For example, since the publication of the experiment, researchers have attempted to disprove its results, using the subjunctive, best that you read it for yourself. In fact, you should try to get hold of a copy of the APA's manual and go over the various sections. That would be better than anything I could summarize here for you. APA's website is www.apastyle.org. Disclaimer, all examples are mine. Hope this helps.
Going quickly through my scientific papers database shows occurrences of both present and past tense. Actually, I find both a reports that, a reported that and a has reported that. I've been thinking about it, and what I would do myself is, for a recent paper that I'm directly referring to, or comparing with, I would use has reported. For an older paper, for example if more recent works have been published on the topic, I would use reported. I mostly avoid the present tense when discussing the author as the subject, because he might have changed his mind about it, but I use the present tense when the work is the subject. For example, I would write Zhang stated in his 2001 monograph that, but Zhang's 2001 monograph states that. Of course, I welcome criticism on this, or alternative propositions. Especially so because writing scientific papers in English is part of my job, so I'd be glad to improve myself.
I agree with the substance of the last answer, except to say that you must use the past tense, as in Smith found that X, if Smith is deceased, even if the paper is in the very recent past.